Alright, Barry just dropped. Let's check it out. Sorry, boys. Your boy is just really depressed. Your boy lost Rashi Rice. I can't fucking believe it, bro. First Puka, then Cup, and now Rashi! It was my fucking Mahomes too, bruh. You can't make this up. Mahomes fucking dove into his knee, out for the season, bruh. And by the way, I lost this week too, bruh. Your boy's down 3-1. 3 wins, 1 loss. Fuck, bruh. Let me know who on the waiver wire I should pick up. Any sleepers, bruh. Please, your boy needs it. I'm gonna pop up on my team right now. Fuck, let me know something, bruh. Fuck, I had to make a trade this morning, bruh. I had to trade Marvin Harrison, bruh. Shit sucks.
Before I begin the video,
fucking
I just
broke my
want to
heart,
mention
bruh.
something. As most of you know, based on my previous video and my announcement,
Barry
earlier
dropped
this
week 4
I
review. Let's check it out.
had a cold. And
Word.
It
Lock
resulted
in.
in a stuffy nose, a headache, some sinuses, and for a little bit, it was a bit of a fever, which was basically life-threatening, but I pulled through somehow. So,
Fuck
when you're watching
up.
this video, I just want you all to realize that I fought through these life-threatening diseases.
All
in order to
right.
provide this content for you. Now, I'm not saying that you need to stand up and clap for me.
Bring out
but
the
really,
vid or
you
what?
should, because that's just how good of a person I am. Either way, let's begin the video. Giants versus Dallas. Oh wow, another primetime Cowboys
Hey,
Giants
shout out
game.
CD.
How exciting is that, folks?
If you know,
the
you
Giants
know.
did what they do best, which is kick a bunch of field goals, while the Cowboys did just enough necessary to win this game. Dak had a nice long touchdown to CD Lamb, and the Giants responded with yet more field goals. The Giants' field goal kicking was so contagious that the Cowboys got in on it as well, including another 60-yarder from the mutant known as Brandon Aubrey. But the Giants would have their chances late in the game to win.
I
But they
actually thought
settled
the
for a
Giants were
field
gonna win
goal,
this
which
game.
was canceled out by a Cowboys field goal. Daniel Jones turned the ball over on downs.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Cowboys
fucking
missed a field goal,
injured
51
neighbors.
yards, and the Giants,
Damn, he
down
missed
5,
that.
had one last opportunity, but Daniel Jones' Hail Mary was intercepted. The Giants are just a
Unrocky.
pathetic fluke franchise, and so are the Cowboys. Fuck both of these teams with an iron rod. Atlanta versus New Orleans. The Falcons literally scored a touchdown off a punt, and not
Oh!
a punt return. The Saints returner was such a dick, he fumbled it into the
Nah.
end zone and it was covered.
That's
for
so
a
rare, by the
touchdown
way,
to put Atlanta
bruh.
up
Fuck.
7-0.
I think they
But
cut to the
Saints
punter.
responded
Look.
with a
Oh, they didn't even
touchdown
cut to
run
the
by
punter.
Mormon Tim Tebow.
punter was
to
like
tie it at
celebrating
7.
and shit like
Kirk
if he were a
Cousins said, I'm
quarterback.
going to be a dick and throw an interception for no reason here, which led to yet another Mormon Tim Tebow touchdown run. The real MVP of this game, though, for Atlanta was their kicker, Young Ho Koo. And I know it's pronounced Young Wei, but it's spelled like Young Ho. And you know who loved Young Ho's? That's right, Pete Rose. Rest in peace, Pete. Or rest in hell, or whatever. The Falcons' offense wasn't doing shit, but guess what? Their special teams defense were, as they picked off Derek Carr with a pick
That'd be
6 for
crazy
their
for
second
that.
non-offensive touchdown in the first half to go up 17-14. The teams exchanged field goals in the third quarter, which gave the Falcons a 20-17 lead, before they went up by 6 with another field goal early in the fourth. But the Saints responded with a long drive, which ended on a turnover on downs and
Shout
a
out
goal
Kamara,
line
by the
stand.
way.
But this is Kirk Cousins we're talking
Couldn't pull
about,
through
so
this
they
week,
didn't
but
score,
fuck,
and the
bruh.
Saints got the
Like,
ball back, and
the
once again
injuries,
got
bruh.
to the goal
Fucking
line, and
Rashi.
this time they
Fuck.
finished taking a 1-point lead
Shout
with
out
a minute
Kamara,
left.
though. He
But
gave
with
me a
how
cool
good
dab.
most kickers are nowadays, and the fact that touchbacks start at the 30, teams only need about 25 to 30 yards to set up a game-winning field goal. And that's exactly what the Falcons did, as Younghoe Koo kicked a game-winning 58-yard field goal to seal the win for the Falcons, 26-24. Chicago versus the Rams. The game began pretty nondescriptly with a couple field goals, but then Matthew Stafford shit the ball out of his butthole deep in Rams territory, which led to a Chicago Bears touchdown to put them up 7-6. Somebody left the door open on this one, which caused it to go way wide to the right. Caleb Williams played a pretty solid game overall, but he still did miss a couple chances. But nevertheless, the game was pretty boring again until late in the third quarter, when Williams threw what is probably the best throw of his career thus far for a touchdown in the vote end zone. Why, thank you so much, NFL, for reminding me to vote. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember to vote for myself for president. Anyway, the Rams responded in the fourth quarter with a
Barry
touchdown.
for president?
run.
Hey,
But
yo!
They didn't get it, which would become a big deal as the Bears responded with a long DeAndre Swift touchdown run
Fucking
after
Puka
a
and Cup should be
beautiful
playing here,
handoff
bruh.
from
Fuck.
Caleb Williams to go up by 2 scores. Stafford then threw
Shit's
some
bullshit.
amazing throws unironically to set up a field goal, which the Rams made to put them down 6. The Rams had 2
No, the Rams
chances
are
late in the
shot,
fourth,
though,
but Matthew Stafford
What are they,
showed
1 and
why
3
he's
now?
on track to be the losingest quarterback ever. The first possession ended on a punt, and the second
Holy
one
shit.
ended with a game-losing interception to drop the Rams to 1 and 3. That's a manly fucking handshake right there. Cincinnati versus Carolina. The game began with a long drive by the Panthers, which ended with a goal line stand. Andy Dalton then reminded people why he's Andy Dalton by throwing an interception, which set up a Bengals touchdown run to put them up 7. But Andy Dalton also reminded people why he's not Bryce Young by leading the Panthers to a touchdown drive. But the Bengals would respond when Joe Burrow inspired Jamar Chase to bounce off of people like a pinball all the way for a long touchdown run, which is one of the best touchdowns I've ever seen. But the Panthers did not blink as Dalton threw another touchdown to tie it up at 14. Burrow then led a go-ahead touchdown drive right as the first half was ending to go up by 7 at halftime. After a sneaky first down conversion run by Burrow, the Bengals then went up 2 scores on another touchdown drive to open the second half, and then 3 scores on a long field goal late in the third.
Think Bengals come back, bruh? Comment down below.
Game. And then Joe Burrow threw one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen, which helped the Panthers cut it to a 7-point game. But have no fear, the Bengals knocked through another 3-pointer. And then Andy Dalton had the most clutch first down run of all time on this play, which ended the game with a 10-point loss or win, depending on how you view it, for the Bengals. Technically, this was a battle of pussies since both Bengals and Panthers are cats. Denver versus the Jets. I gotta be honest, this game was absolutely horrific. I don't even really feel like recapping it because there were so many punts and there were so many penalties and there was so much bullshit. It was terrible weather. Let's just get to the very end, I guess. The Jets and Aaron Rodgers especially had 3 drives in the last 6 minutes, down by 1 point, with a chance to win this game. A game in which Bo Nix didn't even reach positive passing yards until the second half. But their first opportunity ended on a Rodgers sack. Their second opportunity ended on another Rodgers sack on 4th down. But after a Denver missed field goal, the Jets got into field goal range, and Rodgers just could not will his kicker to make the 50-yard field goal. This is what separates Rodgers from guys like Tom Brady. Unironically, we all know that Tom Brady's kicker would have made this kick, but either way, just an absolutely embarrassing loss. One of the most embarrassing losses for Aaron Rodgers in his career. I mean, it might not be as bad as losing to Josh Rosen, but it's really close. Philadelphia versus Tampa Bay. I know a lot of you are looking forward to me recapping this game because you say, oh, well, you picked the Eagles to win and they got their ass kicked. And guess what? I don't really give a fuck because I learned a long time ago that no matter how the Eagles play, when they muff punts and they give up touchdowns, they don't do anything offensively until garbage time, and they end up losing in a blowout, or whether they end up winning, or whether they end up going to the Super Bowl, and whether Jalen Hurts ends up playing well in the Super Bowl, it all doesn't matter because short of winning the Super Bowl, Eagles haters and other fans of other teams are going to say whatever the fuck they want anyway, so I might as well be an obnoxious jackass about them winning every single week because guess what? Who gives a shit in the big picture? There's no point in being a rational or a reasonable fan because people are always going to be talking shit about your team no matter what. Never forget that. But on the other hand, I would not mind if the Eagles fired series. I do think it's very funny that Baker Mayfield has basically identical stats in Tampa to Tom Brady. Looks like my system quarterback narrative wasn't wrong after all, bitches. Houston versus Jacksonville. The Jackoffs were looking for their first win of the season, and they came oh so close. Started off well with a muffed punt, which led to a touchdown pass to put them up 7-0 early on, but Houston would answer. Eventually, though, Houston would take a lead in the first half.
They might get Travis Hunter, low-key first pick. Calling it right now.
Halftime. It was yet another disappointing day for Trevor Lawrence.
That wouldn't be a bad fit either.
The Jaguars broke off a long run for nearly a touchdown that would have put them up double digits, but instead they got pushed out of bounds inside the 5 and ended up turning it over on downs, which led to no points. But they would get the ball back again with the lead to try and put the game away, but Lawrence could not do it, and the ending was not surprising as C.J. Stroud threw a game-winning touchdown to give the Texans a 4-point win. The Jags have now lost 9 straight games with Trevor Lawrence as their starting quarterback. Fire Urban Meyer again. Minnesota versus Green Bay. Sam Darnold came out in the first half and gave the Packers a kiss of death. Get it? Because he had mono. It's funny because mono is a kissing disease. Anyway, the Packers missed a couple field goals and Darnold was just dealing while Jordan Love continued to throw interceptions, which put the Packers in a very deep hole. No offense to Kim Kardashian. It wasn't down 28-0 that they finally got shit started with a touchdown throw from from Love to one of their irrelevant receivers to make
This
it 28-7
was a crazy game, I ain't gonna lie.
Then
I wish it happened
Darnold
this
looked
game.
like Jets Darnold by throwing another interception, which led to another Packers touchdown to make it a 14-point game. Darnold then got strip sacked, which, you guessed it, led to another Packers touchdown and a 2-point conversion to make it a 6-point game. Finally, the Vikings nutted up and got a field goal to make it a 2-possession game. Love paid tribute to Brett Favre before the game by wearing his jersey,
Sam Darnold's
and also
like,
by having a shaky performance.
Legit,
Get it? Shaky because Favre has Parkinson's disease.
Football,
you think that's too far? Well, suck my dick. Vikings had multiple opportunities to put the game away for
Don't
good.
think he can
Love
keep it
then
up?
threw a
Coming up
4th
left.
touchdown pass, but the onside kick failed, and the Vikings ended up hanging on to win by 2 to improve to 4-0. I know at some point that terrible game from Darnold was coming. I know it's going to happen eventually. Is Malik Willis better than Jordan Love? Indianapolis versus Pittsburgh. These goddamn fucking Steelers. The one time I fucking picked them to win, of course they end up losing. They're just not comfortable being outside of 10-7 or 9-8. They need to be mediocre. Anyway, as for the game, they fell behind 17-0 early on after a couple fumbles and mistakes. Anthony Richardson has 4 career wins, and in 3 of them, he left early with an injury. Following a missed field goal from Indy, the Steelers fought their way back.
That's crazy to think about, bro. I'm gonna lie.
Game, while Joe Flacco, remember him?
I think he's only finished one game that like he's left that was a win.
Put the Colts up by 14 early in the 4th, but Fields ran for another score and then threw for a
okay, bruh. Fuck up. Damn!
Touchdown after Colts field goal, which made it a 3-point game. Much like with Chicago, Fields was unable to come through in the clutch. Statistically, he is one of the worst clutch quarterbacks of all time. And the Steelers turned the ball over on downs to seal their 3-point loss. Washington versus Arizona. Arizona did their usual shit to start games, which is when Marvin catches a touchdown.
Oh my god, my heart. I actually miss him. What the fuck? Should I have traded him, bro? Fuck, bro. I did get Josh Jacobs, though, and JSN. Fuck, what y'all think, bro? Fuck, I'm gonna miss him.
Then proceeds to do nothing.
I think that was a cool trade.
In the meantime, Washington continued their rampage offensively, and Jaden Daniels looks like a superstar. Geez, a dual-threat quarterback superstar in Washington? I've never heard of that before. There's no way this could go wrong. Some might say I'm just being a bitter Eagles fan, but I don't know. I'm just not afraid of Washington. Either way, in this game, though, the Cardinals did need to be afraid of Washington because they took and whipped them belt to ass for about 2.5 hours.
RG3 is like the fucking Derrick Rose of the
Jaden Daniels
NFL.
Does look pretty good, but so did Robert Griffin III. So while Washington might actually have a direction they're going now, Cardinals, on the other hand, just kind of seem to be going nowhere. Kind of like single moms who are 30 pounds overweight with a bunch of tattoos and use dating apps all the time. Kansas City versus the Chargers. Oh, wow, you're not going to believe this, guys, but the Chiefs started the game playing like crap and falling behind by double digits, and Mahomes had a terrible interception while also taking out Rashee Rice. And folks, this is...
Don't even say that name. Rashid, no. Oh my god. I'm still heartbroken over it. My heart's broken. Literally, bro. He was going to carry me all the way to the fucking championship, bro.
This isn't the first time a drive's ended poorly for Rashee Rice. Then the Chiefs... did what they always do, which is after falling behind by double digits, they get serious. Mahomes had a beautiful touchdown pass. Their defense stiffened up, not giving up any points the rest of the game, and you know the story. They tied it with a field goal, and then eventually they led a go-ahead touchdown drive with about 6 minutes left to go up by 7 in Kareem Hunt's gracious return to the Chiefs roster. Justin Herbert, it's just really sad what's happened with him. I used to think that he was going to be top 2 or 3 quarterback in the league, and now I just kind of expect him to be mediocre. Anyway, the Chiefs once again win a 1-score game to improve to 4-0 despite Mahomes playing like crap. Las Vegas versus Cleveland. I picked the Raiders to win, and to be honest with you, I was a little bit spooked when Cleveland...
Mahomes, if you don't go off this next week, gang, Monday Night Football against the Saints, bro, like... Bro, I might have to crash out. I don't know, bro. I spent my first pick on you, bro. I could have gotten Lamar. Lamar out here looking like a fucking 3-time MVP. I don't know, bro.
Cleveland came out and actually looked competent offensively. Sexual assaults aside, Deshaun Watson actually had a pretty decent game. But guess what? I don't give a fuck, and I'm happy that he lost. After a quick start, the game kind of slowed down, but the Raiders eventually took a double-digit lead late in the 3rd, and were in prime position to start the 4th with the ball up 10, but their running back was a stupid dickhead and fumbled it, which was returned for a touchdown by the Browns to make it a 4-point game. Yes, 4-point game, not 3-point game, because the Browns kicker missed the extra point, but Deshaun Watts under the towel would have 3 more drives down 4 with a chance to win.
Deshaun Watts under the towel.
And the last one ended with him taking a sack on 4th and 3 to seal the loss. You just hate to see great people lose like this, don't you, folks? San Francisco versus New England. It's pretty apparent, even early on, that Gerard Mayo's a terrible fucking coach and has an outdated philosophy. But at least Jacoby Brissett shut up all the haters like me by throwing a touchdown pass early. Oh, wait a minute, never mind, it was a pick 6. The Patriots' ineptitude offensively continued while their top 3 pick rots on the bench watching a terrible quarterback lose games for them. Anyway, George Kittle had an amazing touchdown catch. The only touchdown drive of the game that the Patriots had was set up off of a whiff kickoff return by the 49ers, which made the game fake competitive, but the game was never really in doubt. 49ers went back up by 17. By the way, shout out to Christian McCaffrey, who probably will miss the season, or at least almost all of the season. I want to shout out all of his fantasy owners because they drafted him first overall, because that's who really matters. It's not about Christian McCaffrey's well-being.
I was this close to drafting McCaffrey too. Crazy.
It's about all the fantasy owners who drafted him high. Patriots defense is actually pretty good, but it didn't matter because their offense is so
the Niners,
inept. And the 49ers won as expected.
Hey, Ayuk, bro, 2 catches, bro. I don't know, gang. You're not looking like 30 mil.
I have no idea whether Drake May is going to become good or not. And I'm sure that if Drake May was playing, he would take a lot of sacks. But the people who say, oh, you can't put him out there with such a terrible offensive line. I'm sorry. What the fuck are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the Patriots to have 5 all-pros in the offensive line before you put him out there? Guess what? When you're a top 3 pick, you're supposed to be a fucking difference maker, guys. Okay? I don't understand this thought process. Guess what? Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud over the last 2 years, and so recent history, they didn't need to sit behind a crappy quarterback to know how to be good. So the Patriots literally are gaining nothing by trotting Jacoby Brissett out there every week to throw for 120 yards and put up 10 points. It's so goddamn stupid. And I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. If you don't want to play a quarterback until he has an absolutely perfect situation around him, guess what? You're going to be waiting for a really long time. Baltimore versus Buffalo. Following a riveting pregame speech about 9/11, the Bills came out and promptly collapsed, just like the Tigers. Derrick Henry had one of the best games of his probably Hall of Fame career, and this game was never really competitive. The Ravens dropped their dong all over the Bills, taking an 18-point lead at halftime. There was a brief moment after the Bills scored a touchdown and got the ball back where it looked like this might be a game, but Josh Allen was killed on a sack and fumble. The Ravens went up on a Lamar touchdown run to go back up by 18. The Bills missed a field goal. Let me know if you've heard that before. Before the Ravens extended their lead to 25 on this incredible Derrick Henry touchdown pass, which traveled farther in the air than any completion Tom Brady had in his last Super Bowl win, and I'm only half joking. Either way, it was a dominant win for the Ravens, and a concerning loss for the Bills. Tennessee versus Miami. If these 2 Monday Night Football games were the Stallone brothers, this one would be Frank Stallone. Shout out to Norm. Will Levis left the game early, but not before throwing an interception, goddammit. Let's check in on how Tyler Huntley's doing. Yeah, it's about what I thought. The first 2.5 quarters were literally dog shit and field goals, and the Titans had a 9-6 lead before they finally got a touchdown off of a wildcat formation. One of my favorite plays of the game, Tyler Huntley somehow overthrowing Tyreek Hill running at full speed. Do you know how hard that is to do? Anyways, did you know that Tyler Huntley has as many Pro Bowls as Joe Burrow? It's not a troll. The Titans kicked a couple more field goals to go up by 16 before the Dolphins finally got into the end zone to make it a 10-point game, but they failed on their 2-point conversion. Huntley then committed a safety with intentional grounding in the end zone before the Titans expanded it to a 19-point lead, which also doubled as the final score to win 31-12 in a very forgettable game. Detroit versus Seattle. Talk about fireworks. The Lions started off with a touchdown to go up 7-0, and then a DK Metcalf fumble set up another Lions touchdown to put them up 14-0 early. But the Seahawks would not go down easy, unlike my ex-wife, as they scored a touchdown to make it 7 before the Lions responded again with another touchdown to go up by 14 again. Holy shit, another lateral play. That's so awesome, but it led to no points for Seattle. In fact, there were no points scored again until 10 minutes left in the third when the Seahawks cut it to 7. Jared Goff, who literally set the NFL record for most pass attempts without any completion night, had this unbelievable dime downfield, which set up another touchdown. Oh, and by the way, that touchdown was scored by Jared Goff on a receiving touchdown. What a night for the former first overall pick. On this night, there was nobody beating Goff, at least on the field. Maybe in the privacy of their own homes, there was some jerking off, but not on this. Regardless, the Seahawks had the ball down 8 in the fourth quarter, but they had to punt, and the Lions then capitalized with a touchdown to make it a 15-point game. And despite a safety by Jared Goff, the Seahawks never really threatened again, and the final score was 42-29. A very entertaining game, which has become the norm for these two franchises when playing against each other. Now it's time for the Week 4 awards. The best throw of the week goes to Patrick Mahomes. In an otherwise pretty boring game and underwhelming season thus far for Mahomes, he still showed that he has the ability to throw deep every now and then with this beautiful touchdown throw. If only he would do this more often. The worst throw of the week belongs to Mahomes' good friend.
Where's fucking throwing checkdowns now, bruh? He's fucking pulling a Tom Brady. Fuck, bruh. I don't know, bruh. He needs to wake up. I don't know what it is.
Burrow's actually had a pretty good season thus far, but this is really just a bunch of cardinal sins in one play. Throwing the ball late and throwing the ball across your body over the middle almost never leads to anything good, and that's what we saw here. It helped keep the Panthers in the game for a little while longer. The puppy of the week once again belongs to Scooby. We haven't seen a dynasty like this since the Russell Celtics in the 60s, and honestly, this might put the Russell Celtics dynasty to shame, because Scooby is just so talented and so handsome and so demure. Look at that face. We go to my Thursday night football prediction between the...
Alright. What y'all think of week 4, man? Fuck, I hope I can win next week, and hopefully the Niners win, and fuck, but I don't know. It's looking bad for me, boys. Fucking, it's looking really bad. Fuck, let me know some waiver wire pickups down below. Comment down below what I should react to next, and I'll catch y'all, boys. Peace!